Hey everybody, just quick Caleb pop in at the beginning to let you know today we're working on another mini game called Pig Farm, and I hope you all enjoy. Time for the best part of my day. Which mini game should I play today? Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be making what I have lovingly called Pig Farm. So, I was struggling for a bit to come up with ideas for what mini games I wanted to do because I'd come up with a bunch of them at work but didn't write any of them down and then completely forgot that they all existed. So, here we are. But this one is kind of a classic, oh help, my animals escaped, I need to find them type game. So, if you're interested in that at all, welcome to the video. I hope I can explain this all right. So at the end of this, I recorded it separately, so it's going to sound a little disjointed from this, but it was just me walking through everything step by step because I kind of realized that I don't really do that here. So hopefully that makes things a little clearer and a little easier to follow along with. Right now, I'm just kind of building out the farm. I couldn't decide for the life of me what I wanted the farmhouse to look like, but I do. Goodness, sorry, I'm doing this late at night. But I knew I wanted to have like a silo. So I added that. And yeah. Out of all the things that I enjoy the most in RPG Maker, it's probably mapping. Especially when I'm in the mood for it. I can map so many things, and then when I actually go to work on the story, I'm just like, I don't need this map, but I just spent several hours making it, so here we are. Now, this isn't the most beautiful or detailed map, and I definitely gave up after I got a little farther in because I was like, okay, no, I need to actually start making the event. But here I'm kind of setting up the scene. There are some pigs in a pen, and then I add some pigs out of the pen. Goodness, that is a tongue twister. Pigs in a pen, pigs in a pen, pigs in a pen. Anyways, here I'm setting up the start event where you walk up to this poor, overworked farmer who, just can't go fetch her own pigs. Instead needs you, the main character, to fetch the pigs for her, even though you have world-ending, important things to be doing right now. No, you have to go find this woman's pigs. So she asks you for help and sends you out into the field to go find those pigs. And that is what I'm building here. This is the screen where the mini game takes place. The pen I'm building right now is where you're trying to get the pigs to. And now I start with the pigs. That was me marking the coordinates where I want the pigs to be teleported to after the event. And then I go in here and I add in the pig event to the choice menu because I realized I forgot to do that because you will not see it at the start of this video. But it's there now, okay? I promise. But I go back in and add a choice, so you're not just forced into this mini game. You can say no. It greatly upsets this poor farmer who cries out "wah" like Waluigi. But yes, so I have the player set into this, so it's easy to playtest it. So I don't just have to keep teleporting between the screens. And this is me trying to find a pig noise. There is absolutely no pig noise in the default sound effects, and I was greatly disturbed by this. But then I heard the sheep noise, and I thought, you know what sound pigs make? No, they do not make wink. Instead they go, bah. So all my pigs are saying bah now. And I went and I looked. And I say this again later, too, in my explanation video, but there is no pig noise at all. And why? There is no sheep sprite. There is sheep noise. There is pig sprite. But no pig noise. Like, that just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I could have gone online and found one, but that just kind of defeats the entire purpose of it, So rant over, here I am getting the event set up so that when you touch it, the pig teleports into... Goodness, sorry, the pin. And this takes a lot of trial and error and different switches and everything. But here is me setting up the first time event, which I go into detail in later. But basically, if it's your first time touching the pig, because I have it set to player touch, that's how you do it. You could set it to the button, but you basically just be running around spamming the button trying to catch these poor pigs, which, you know, could be what you're going for. But yeah, see? Pigs go in the pen, woo. That works. And then that was me adding a bunch of pigs, which I delete so many times. I don't know why I do this, but I go through and I'd copy paste all the pigs and be like, yeah, good progress, we're doing great. And then I'd realize that I have to change the event in the pigs, so I'd have to go through, delete all the pigs, and then I would copy paste them again. Not realizing that I think I do this like 4 or 5 times. Some of it gets cut out. I do that sometimes when I'm really, really repetitive. I'll just cut it out and add it back in. But yeah. Conditional branches when making mini games are your best friend, honestly. Like, there is so much you can do with conditional branches. It's crazy. It's crazy how powerful just the base system for RPG Maker is. Like, I know this one's like simple enough for a child, but it can get really complex without needing to use plugins, which is something I don't think a lot of people really appreciate. I mean, there's a lot of games that don't have a lot of heart put into them out in the world, and there's a lot that do. But it seems that all everyone wants to pay attention to are the ones that don't have a lot of time and heart put into them. And so, you know, stuff like this gets a bad rep. But that's kind of what my goal is with this mini game series, is to show that there is so much that you can do with the base RPG Maker system, and that it shouldn't be looked down upon because it's not the system making those games, you know? And it kind of sucks for all the people who put their heart and effort into these games for them to just instantly be like, oh, it's an RPG Maker game. It's, you know, there's a couple good ones, but really they're not all that good. It's too simple to use, you know, too easy to figure out. So you don't have to learn years of coding, you know, just simple. Sidetrack note. I took a coding class in college a couple years ago, and I expected it to be really difficult. Mind you, it was an entry-level coding class, but then a lot of the stuff we went over, I was like, oh yeah, I know what this is. I use this in RPG Maker all the time. And I realized that, like, I mean, basically all RPG Maker is block coding. And it gives you the simple, easy-to-read options, and underneath each of those options is code telling the game what to do. And I mean, sure, I kind of knew this before going into that class, but afterwards I was just like, wow, that made learning coding so much easier. So, like, if you want to figure out how to code, look into everything in RPG Maker and play with it, because it definitely helped me, and I hope it would help you. Alright, this is me trying to figure out the timer. It is so glitchy. Timer's going, getting all the pigs in the pen. Then I realized, wait, why isn't it ending? why didn't it end? And then I realized I didn't have the loop, so it only checked once to see if all the pigs were caught. And while I was recording this, I had 2 separate YouTube videos running in the background. And, you know, I don't think that helped. And there's me deleting the pigs again. Yeah, I had one, it was just like an outside rainy, thundery ambiance, and the other was Undertale music. And sure, I could have looked up one YouTube video containing both of these things, but I like to be difficult. Alright, I don't know how many more times I copy paste those pigs. You run around, touch the pig, pops in the pin. And then I realize, oh no, It's still not working. Why isn't it working? So eventually what I do is I remove all of that and I add the check into the pigs themselves. So it checks every time I touch a pig instead of looping constantly, which it helps speed up that. See, there was the issue, is I had the variable set to less than the total number of pigs. So that's where the bug is. And I eventually figure that out, but it takes me a hot minute. See there, I'm counting pigs, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's them. And I go through, and I'm catching the pigs. And I'm like, wait, no, that was the right number of pigs. It wasn't. It was one less than the total number of pigs I needed. I had to go back and exit out of the game because I didn't. I just clicked back into the editing screen. Something cool to know is that if you realize you forgot to do something, but it's on a map separate than the one you have the game open in, you can edit that while having the game running in the background, and then save your RM file. And then when you go into the game and load a new map, it will let you test. Have all those new things you just added in, and you don't have to just exit out and start again if you don't want to. I guess it's not really that neat of a thing, but I don't know. I just thought it was neat. But yeah, that's the piggy event. Hey everybody, it's Calum, and if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. And so, reason this is here is I was looking back over some of my old videos. I realized if you want to replicate this, I don't really tell you how I do it. I show you how I do it. I have the entire process immortalized, but I don't really tell you how to do it. So this little section in the end, I'm going to try my hardest to include this in all my future videos, but I'm going to walk through step by step of what I did to make these work. So for this one, I call it Pig Farm. Call it whatever you want. And before we go any farther, yes, I will continue to make the pigs make sheep noises because there's no pig noise in the default, so now they are sheep. Which is weird because if I remember correctly, yeah, there is no sheep sprite, but there is a sheep noise. So here we are. So to start off, I have it started on like this farm map. There's some pigs in here, and then there's even a little couple pigs running loose, you know. And here I'm just like, oh no, my pigs escaped, please help me, or I don't know what I will do, because I am obviously not a very good farmer because I can't keep my pigs in, and I don't even make an effort in getting them back, and instead really wait for a stranger to come do it for me. Anyways, this event teleports you, or transfers you, to where it starts, and I turned off menu access just because, yeah, it just makes the most sense to do for most mini games. So once you get to this map, I think I have it transferring to this one, but for simplicity's sake, start with this one. This event is absolutely nothing. I was just reminding myself the coordinates of the middle of the pin where the pigs teleport, so I didn't have to really think too hard on it, but then I realized that that was thinking too hard on it because I can just click where I want them to go. So, you know, not necessary. That was just me kind of messing around. This is the auto-run start event, and it tells you what to do. Turns on the switch that starts what you're doing and starts the timer. And then it switches to this, which is just a catch-all to stop the auto-run event. Pigs each have a very complicated looking event on them, and I will get to that in a second. But here we have the ending event, which only activates after the start event has been started, so it's not constantly like the timer is 0, because it doesn't start until the timer starts. But for this one, it plays the sound. You can do any sound you want, but you know, the runs, I hit the wrong button, sorry. That, then it turns the switch on, which is bye pigs, which means like you're saying bye to the pigs because they're running away. You failed. Time is up. You did not capture all the pigs. Then it sends you back to the map you came from, It says, oh no, oh well, they'll come back to the inventory. The farmer does, and then you reset all the variables used. And you break the loop, and you end it. This loop is for it to continuously keep checking if the timer is at 0. Otherwise, it would just check it once and then never happen again. So when the timer reached 0, absolutely nothing would happen. Now this does, I've noticed, cause a teeny tiny bit of lag sometimes because it's constantly searching this. So you could add a wait event in, but it's not too bad sometimes. And it only seems to happen when I have like 5 other things running in the background. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. But anyways, back to the little piggies. So I have an event in here that plays only if you haven't caught any pigs yet, to kind of give you the idea of what everything's going on is. So that's that if pig 1 is caught on, that's the first event hasn't happened, then it plays the sheep sound. It turns the pig through on, and they jump in place. Then it teleports the pig into the pen, which is here, and then it turns through off. And it changes the pig variable to caught 1. Pigs caught 1. This variable goes through all of the pigs, and yeah, it shows. You set that variable to the number that you want of pigs, and then once that number is reached, it shows that all the pigs have been captured. This is what happens is it's the first pig you are capturing. It zooms in using the one plugin, because this is completely optional. You do not need to do this. I just did it for finesse. I have the Galv cam control plugin on, and it focuses on the pig as it goes into the pen, and then if it comes back to the character to show, okay, this is what's happening, I do it a bunch more times. And at the bottom of each of the pigs ones, we have the end event, where every time you catch a pig, sorry, goodness, it increases the pig count up by 1. So then it'll go on to this, and if you have caught all the pigs, in this case I have 6 pigs, then it'll play a bell, say you did it, transfer you back, and the game's over, you won. And then you reset all the variables and break the loop, and that's the end. So I figured I'd just go through, show y'all that, and have a nice easy place for you to jump to if you're trying to recreate this without having to scroll through my very long video of me figuring it out. Hope this helps!